Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think it worked. Yeah. Awesome. I hope everybody is doing well. Well, it sounds like Millie wants to go outside, so I guess we can try that. All right, I'll take Millie outside. Come on, let's go outside. She was whining at my door. Come on. Come on, Millie, let's go. Harness. All right. Harness on. I already took care of the older dogs this morning. Whew. Well, it's chilly today. My goodness. Oh, it's like 30 something out here. So if I turn this way, there. I'll turn so the porch light hits my face. Yeah, it is awful dark in the morning. Ooh. Anyway, come on, Millie. Come on, do your business. No, I hate to rush you, but it's really cold. So I'm not sure if anybody's there. I can't see anything as far as the live stream goes. I can just transmit from here. But if anybody's there, I hope your morning is going well. Ooh. If you need help waking up, I can assure you that coming outside when it's 30 something in a bathrobe, that will wake you up in the morning. That'll do the trick. Oh. So many things to sniff before you go to the bathroom. Come on, Millie. Please hurry. Grandpa's cold. Okay, that's as long as the leash goes. Oh, that is a brisk wind. All right. Well, he held still for a long time. I think that means they were going to the bathroom. Come on. Here, no, don't go around stuff. I'm not going out in the dark grass. Come on. Millie, come. Come on. All right. Whoa. Come on. I know there's a bunny that runs around out here. Come on. Yeah, okay. Come on. Look, there's a house squirrel you can chase. Two of them. I know they're big and pokey. All right. Do you want your treat for being a good girl? Yeah, I thought maybe you'd turn back around. There you go. All right. Going back upstairs to the live stream. I don't know if I brought my coffee down. No, I didn't, because I had my phone. So we're good. All right, good morning. Oh, good. Yes, we have some people. Good morning. Okay, yeah, everything is back and working. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the cold mornings either, but it is 35 degrees out, so just above freezing. And thankfully, my bathrobe is pretty warm, and I was wearing pants, but ooh. So Ike and Artig and Cranky Kraken, welcome. Good morning. I don't know. I might have to start doing comics every live stream because I just run out of stuff to talk about. And these early morning ones, it's a much smaller crowd, which doesn't insinuate less value. And so, yeah, there's generally less conversation fodder. Yeah, everything is going pretty well this morning. Hope everything is going well with you too. We have, I guess it's gonna rain this morning. I just got a notification on my watch that it might rain, but it doesn't show it on my weather app, so I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and because of the wind, it says it feels like it's 28 degrees, which I can attest to that. Yeah. Ooh, full moon in 2 days. All right. Yeah. So, what's going on in the world of IT? So the Matt Mullenweg thing is confusing. I don't know if you've been following. Like Matt Mullenweg is having like a fight with the WP Engine folks, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know. It's really bizarre, and I don't know what the root issue is. It's I don't know all the details, so I can't talk about the situation, but I can just say that I don't know. I think that Matt kind of continuing to be obstinate about it. It's not a great look. I don't know what's happening there. Talking to some other IT friends, I think I could see WordPress having a fork and then people getting behind the fork as a community project. I don't know. I hate it when that happens. Sometimes it's good when that happens, but it'll make a splintered community regardless. And that's kind of like I don't know. It can be pretty frustrating. So I hope that all of that just settles back down, but I don't know. And his company, Automatic, has just, purchased so many really cool products that brought into like he owns Tumblr and he owns Day One, the journaling app, and all that stuff. Yeah, so something I don't even know, and that's the thing. I feel like I can't talk about it in an educated manner. because I don't know all the nuance of it, but something about WP Engine is I guess a company that uses WordPerfect, and there was some beef between WP Engine and either Matt Mullenweg or Automatic, his company. And then it just seems to keep escalating. Like yesterday, he wrote a blog post calling out somebody else for taking sides, and it's like, come on. But I think he has good taste in products too, because like I said, and he also bought Beeper, which is a multi-platform chat thing, where it actually uses a matrix bridge to connect a whole bunch of different chat things like Telegram and Signal and I don't know, all that, like WhatsApp and all these different things into one client. Beeper was really cool. Beeper had a really hard time because of Apple iMessage. They really don't want anybody to use their platform. And so there was a struggle there. That's what Beeper was having legal issues with. And then Automatic bought them. So yeah, he's got really good taste in products, but I don't, it's just drama. So I don't know. I used Beeper for quite a long time. The reason I stopped using Beeper, and it's just beeper.com, but the reason I stopped using it is one of the bridges that it allows you to use is instant messenger, or is Instagram messages, and some people were getting their accounts deactivated because of suspicious activity. The suspicious activity being them logging in from one location, the Beeper server. The Beeper server would log in on your behalf, and then you would communicate with the Beeper server for messages, and their accounts were getting not just warned but absolutely deactivated, like they couldn't even access them anymore. And I did not want to lose my account, so I just stopped using Beeper. I'm sure using something like that is against the terms and conditions, so it wouldn't have been out of the realm of reasonable for them to just shut off the account. So yeah, I don't want that to happen. Mary, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I don't know how cold it is where you are, but my goodness, it's 35 degrees here, and that's cold. And I know folks in Europe are like, 35? That's warm. I think that's warm. Summery, at least. I don't know if that's like melt your face off or wear a jacket, but yeah, just barely above freezing here. So oh, Mary, so you were talking to me about your son who has the Meta Quest 3 virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality headset. And what I realized, or I discovered when looking at it, that particular headset has the fancy new pancake lenses, which you have to be pretty nerdy to understand. But the previous ones, Andy, good morning. Good morning. But the previous lenses were Fresnel, and so they had this weird, like, it blurry around the edges. It's only really sharp in the middle. But supposedly, the Quest Meta 3 or Meta Quest 3 has pancake lenses, which is supposed to make it very clear, like your entire field of vision is clear and crisp. And so I'm curious if your son has that experience. So if you think about it, you'll have to ask him. If he used a previous model, or if that was his first, he wouldn't have anything to compare to. But I'm genuinely curious because it's supposed to just be so much better. In Germany, it's 48. Oh, that's warmer than here. It is going to warm up today. It looks like we're going to get to about 52 here. So, yeah. Walnut, it's night for you right now. I mean, it's dark here. That doesn't really count, but it is dark here still. Yeah, it's crazy how it feels like this fall just snuck up on me because now it's, it's cold, cold, cold. I had to turn the furnace on for the first time this weekend. That I always feel like Mother Nature has won the round because I try to hold off as long as I can turning on the furnace. And, I just like literally have it in the off position so it doesn't ever kick on. And over the weekend, I had to, it might have been Friday even, I had to turn it on. I had to finally flip the switch so that the furnace would come on. And yeah, I always feel defeated, but it was necessary. I woke up this morning and yeah, the furnace is just blown away because the furnace also we have a gas furnace, natural gas furnace, and it's forced air. And so it's more efficient to at night have the temperature go lower and then bring it back up in the morning. Some forms of heat, it's not more efficient to do that. Like the recovery process takes too much energy. It's better just to keep it at a steady thing. But with forced air, natural gas, it's more efficient to turn it down at night. So I woke up this morning and the furnace was like, I'm trying. So anyway, yeah. But it just seems like fall snuck up because not only is it cold, but it's also still dark. I mean, it's almost 7:30 and it's still quite dark outside. When I took the dog out, if you weren't here, I just took my phone, my mobile cam, and took the dog outside, and it's dark. So, oh, he doesn't have anything to compare to. Well, okay, then he's kind of. My assumption is going to be that he will be horribly spoiled for the rest of his life because if that's the first one that he's had, if he tries one of the older VR headsets or even the new Quest 3S, which is the newest one that maybe didn't even quite come out yet. It comes out this month. It has Fresnel lenses, which is a crappier experience. So yeah, he's really got like the primo experience if he has the Quest 3. They has when his time change. It's so dark. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And when is that? Like right around voting time, I think, like the beginning of November. Is that correct? I think that's when time change happens. I don't know. I still don't think the time change should happen, but that's, nobody asked me. And I thought supposedly that it was going to be abolished. I thought they were going to do away with the time change. But yeah, apparently they're not doing away with it. So I have to admit, I was a little bit, it hurt my soul a little bit because when they were saying that the time change was going to go away, daylight savings time was going to no longer be honored. They were actually going to stick to daylight savings time or daylight saving time instead of standard time. And I thought that was just a ridiculous choice. Like, why would you forever be with the one that's not right? It was a weird choice, but I thought at least not changing would be good, but still, that's so weird. Yeah, I don't like having to adjust. And I mean, there's so many studies on the amount of lost productivity for like 2 weeks after the change going in either direction. And it isn't even that people are tired. It's just because it's different. Like somehow it just drastically affects our mental state. The circadian rhythm just somehow totally messed up. So, Andy, I don't know if you're still here, Andy, but I'm curious what time. And do you have more than one kid? And obviously, you don't have to share on a live stream your family situation. But get on the road. What time do your kids go to school? That was my only question. And if you don't see this before you go, that's fine. But I'm just curious because like I found out that my sister's kids have to get on the bus so early and I just feel bad for them. I'm just so out of touch when it comes to school these days because not only are my kids adults now, but my wife doesn't work at a school anymore. I don't work at a school anymore. It's really bizarre. So anyway, well, have a good day, Andy, regardless. And Mary, there's studies about heart attacks too. Yeah, I mean, okay, it doesn't affect me that much, but no, yeah, I don't know. And it's weird. It's still a global phenomenon. I mean, not every country does it, but it's not just us. Like daylight saving time seems like one of those things that only America would do, right? I mean, like we use the Fahrenheit system for temperature. We use, the imperial system for measurements. And we use daylight saving time for saving daylight. But no, other countries do it too. Some don't, like Korea. We've had a lot of Korean exchange students, and Korea does not change their time. They're always on the same, and they only have a single time zone. I bet the whole concept of time zones is a little bit wacky too, and I guess not, because I mean the world is the world. But if you come from a country with a single time zone, and I don't know how time zones work in Europe, if I'm being quite honest, like how many time zones there are and where those dividing lines happen to be. I'm gonna have to look into that. I never thought about. I mean, I've thought about daylight saving time in Europe, but I never considered time zones. Obviously, GMT is what everything is based on, but which, hey, good for the rest of the planet, not basing times on somewhere in the U.S. I feel like everything is based on U.S. stuff, but good on the world for using Greenwich Mean Time. All right, I gotta look now because I'm super curious. Sure, the best way to go about this. Oh, I bet if we go over to that screen, it's going to be messed up, though. Oh, no. Oh, it's really there. Cool. All right. A map of your time zones. So it looks like, what is that, UK and Portugal down there? That is Portugal, right? Yeah. And everybody else is on that. And then once you get over to like Ukraine, Finland. So Russia and Belarus are on their own. Ukraine, Finland, and I don't know a lot of those other little countries. I'm ashamed to admit. Fascinating. So the bulk of Europe proper is one, and then the UK and Portugal are another. Cool. Now I know. I mean, don't quiz me. I don't know, but I looked it up. My brain is happy now. Show some information because now you have me curious. And Europe countries are much smaller than here. Countries split. Yeah, so I don't know if you were looking at the map there, Mary, but it looks like most of Europe is on a single time zone, and then it looks like the UK and Portugal are on one further to the west. So it must be like it must be the bulk of European countries are an hour after the UK. So I don't know, and I don't know which countries do daylight saving time and which don't. So that I didn't look too deep into that, but I never knew. That was just interesting. I never knew about how time zones worked in Europe. So, the more you know. Yeah. I think I think I think Bjorn is no longer here, but he would know. He's in Germany. Oh. he would definitely know. When Cody's working, he sails in and out of different time zones just on the Great Lakes. Oh yeah, I bet. I bet. And it's funny, out on the Great Lakes, I mean, so back again. So you're in the kitchen. We were talking about time zones in Europe, and so I looked it up on a map, and it looks like the UK and Portugal are on the same time zone, and then the bulk of the European countries that like we're familiar with, like Spain, France, Germany, are on maybe an hour later. Oh, and Ireland too. Okay, and then are an hour later, and then after that, it's like Ukraine and maybe it was Finland are an hour past that, and then Russia's an hour past that. But is that the case? So the UK and Portugal, I think, was the. My European knowledge almost was really shamed because the countries, not all of them were labeled, and I was like, oh crap, what is that? But yeah, it was Portugal. So that's cool. All right, and it's funny that I'm almost 50 years old and never once had in my life have I thought about time zones in Europe. I thought about daylight saving time, and that was the other thing too. It wasn't clear like if all countries in Europe honor daylight saving time or if only some do. I know that I know England does, but I mean, let's be honest. Even the UK slash British Isles slash England slash just try like there's so many, like the United Kingdom is a very confusing geopolitical entity anyway. Most of them do. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, also the daylight saving time changeover date is different in Europe than I don't know if different countries in Europe are different. I'm assuming that if you switch to daylight saving time, you do it all at the same time. But it's like 2 weeks different from when we do it over here. And I only know from my coworker who lives in England, firsthand, because she'll we'll have like work meetings and she's like, okay, it's daylight saving time now, right? So you guys are like going to be there an hour early or whatever. So it's really confusing for her because she has to keep track of not only when her time changes, but when our time changes, because the meetings are of course based on the time zone where the company is. So yeah, it gets confusing. But yeah, I feel accomplished already today because I learned about time zones in Europe. So, oh, you change. Okay, you change in October. I don't think we change until November, and I don't know if it'd be on my calendar. I guess I could just do I could search. DST over 2024. Yes. November 3rd. Yeah. So I guess it's only 1 week difference this year. I think for the switch to daylight saving time, it was 2 weeks, but it looks like it's 1 week now. So, yeah. Yep. I just looked it up, Mary. It's on a different, it's not the window I'm streaming. But yeah, but Europe is the 27th. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, you guys will be, in fall, go back. So you'll be closer to us for 1 week. I feel bad for my coworker. I type faster than, well, in your defense, I'm at a computer with multiple screens and multiple browsers and a keyboard. So, it's possible that you're just on a phone. So the 31st of March, is it always the same date? I feel like ours change. And so I know that the change date has been legally changed. Like I remember George W. Bush, and I say his whole name because his dad, George Bush, was also president earlier than that. But George W. Bush, I think when he was president, they changed when the switch happened. And America's crazy. But yeah. So the third, and then we switch back. I really thought that we were going to do away with changing times. And I mean, if you're not in the U.S., you may not realize too that not all the states here in the U.S. do daylight saving time. So like Arizona doesn't. Indiana, I don't know if they do now. Indiana for a long time did not. Let's see. What states? Oh, Hawaii doesn't. Okay. Arizona doesn't, but so Arizona does not. But inside Arizona, there's indigenous land, and inside the Navajo tribe land, they do switch. So Arizona doesn't. The Navajo tribe land, they do switch. And inside the Navajo land, there's the Hopi Indians or Hopi indigenous people, and they don't. So it's crazy. Yeah. Florida doesn't? Are you sure? I thought Florida, I mean, if so, that's recent. Ah. Yes, Florida does. Florida was the first state to pass legislation in 2018 to permanently observe daylight saving time, but the legislation requires federal approval. The Sunshine Protection Act has been introduced multiple times, but it's not been passed. Okay, so they passed the okay to do it if the federal government approved it. So that's the, I mean, there's a kernel of truth in that. So yeah, I mean, they gave the okay if and when the federal government ever decides that it's okay. It looks like 11 other states did too. Yeah, but none of the laws have taken effect. And I thought they had support in the House of Representatives. So I don't know whatever happened. Yeah. Oh, 18 more states have passed even. Yeah. And you're right. There's a bit of a controversy because Florida made a big deal about it when they proposed it. They made a big deal. They passed the Sunshine Act to, be on daylight saving time forever. But that didn't actually change it. That only kind of greased the wheels for if the federal government approved it or whatever. So yeah, there are now, it looks like 19 states that are locked and loaded to get rid of the change, but it still hasn't happened. Good morning, Neil. I hope you're doing well. So Neil, now you live like what, less than 5 minutes from work. Are you enjoying that less stressful morning where you can sleep a little more, not have to worry about, is there going to be traffic? Is it going to take me 25 minutes to get to work, or is it going to take me 40 minutes to get to work? It's pretty much going to be 5 minutes no matter what. So congrats on that. Yeah, anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, Neil is my son-in-law, and he and my daughter just bought a house, and the house that they bought is very close to where he works, 6-7 minutes away from work. So you drive safer than me. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Neil, the other day, just for funsies, I took the other way to your house, and I won't mention specific roads I don't want to compromise where you live, but when you leave the loop, you live on a loop, and when you make that turn on the loop, if you take that road that starts with a G all the way to the end, you end up on the road that starts with a B, and then that goes straight down to the freeway or to the highway. I don't think it's any quicker, but it's fewer curvy turny turns. So, Yeah, it's no, it's all pavement. No, it's complete pavement. So yeah, if you your loop, leave your loop, turn right onto onto that first road and just go straight until the end. It's fully paved. And that road that starts with a B, that's a very, very steep hill. So I wouldn't want to do it in the middle of winter. But yeah, it's all paved, and it's just a straight shot. So yeah, you have to try it. You have to try it this morning. Now you know you're going to be curious. You're like, no, but oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely don't turn left when you get to that road, because that's where I think the passability of the road starts to dwindle. But from your subdivision down to the highway is all pavement. So it's very steep, though. I mean, again, that is not a road I would want to take in the wintertime, because it is just very steep. And I live on a very steep hill, but that's a long, steep hill. Anyway, sorry for everybody that we alienated, but it's fun to have multiple ways to your house, right? I mean, it's like a bat cave entrance. Not really. It's to a bat cave entrance to the whole subdivision. Yeah, you guys are still on a loop with only one way in and out. I mean, you could go down the cliff, but probably just the one time, because then you'd be, you'd be on the bottom of the cliff, just a splat. So here's my guess. There's no HOA fees, right? You don't have any HOA fees, so they must all be considered county roads, because that's usually the thing. Usually, if it's a subdivision that is not considered county roads, then you have to have an HOA, and the HOA has to pay somebody, private person, to do it. So my suspicion is that, yes, they will take good care of your roads, partially because there's a lot of really nice houses and people, with money, and those are the kind of people that tend to have the world handed to them on a silver platter. So I suspect that you will get plowed well. It probably will not be first thing, but it might be. Depends on who those well-off people in your subdivision are, right? If somebody with enough influence lives in there, it's gonna get plowed pretty early. So, but yeah, I'm curious too. I'm curious to find that out. So, yeah. So Neil, we should talk sometime, maybe before winter. Are you thinking that you might want to have security cameras up? Because it would be much more fun to install those before it gets too snowy. So we should think about that and talk about that, if that's something you want, just to have, some camera views outside of your house. And maybe you don't want that, but I like having archived views of who comes and goes. So anyway. Oh, Mary. Okay. If cops in your neighborhood, it will be plowed very nice. So I don't know if they do, but I did see a state police car when I was driving. I think I've seen it twice. So I don't know if I can't imagine why they would have been in the neighborhood if they didn't live there. So maybe. It's also a really big subdivision. So what I don't know is, if they come to plow it, will they plow the entire thing? It would seem silly if they didn't, right? Like if you had your big plow truck and you were going to plow because somebody who you wanted to keep happy lived there, you wouldn't plow half of it and then come back later in the afternoon and plow the other half. You'd probably do the whole thing. So, yeah. But yeah, you have to keep us informed, Neil. I'm curious, because I think we're going to get quite a bit of snow this winter. At least that's what the forecasts say, because of Oh, I forget what are we going to a La Nina from an El Nino? I think so. I think La Nina is coming. I think. Anyway. All right. I will push back against Ring Camera only because there's such horrible privacy issues with that particular brand, but if you're interested in any kind of a camera thing, I'll be happy to have that conversation. La Nina. Yeah, La Nina is the one that's coming. So yeah, awesome. And yeah, now that you own the house, it's fun to do stuff to a house that you own. I mean, it's not fun that you have to do stuff when it breaks, but but yeah, it's fun to do stuff like that. Really? Oh no, this is fascinating. Your side of the dirt road will get one swipe. Mom's gets clue because of who lives on her road. I guess I don't know who lives on her road, but that is fascinating. I mean, it's literally the same road, but across the street. So, I mean, across, like, down the road. But that's interesting. Interesting. And then, yeah. Neil, no water heater issues. Yeah, hopefully not. Although, I mean, I say this, they're pretty simple devices. So even the gas ones are pretty simple. And yes, I did have one have a minor explosion in the basement, but I know why it happened now. So it's I'm not concerned or scared about it. But yeah. And the furnace, that was the tough one. So 2 winters ago, our furnace quit, and it like just completely quit. It would not run. And that was unsettling. Because it would have been extremely expensive to have somebody come out, and it was cold. And so I just went downstairs and figured out how the furnace worked, and then started looking up parts. When I figured out what wasn't working right, I went to the plumbing and heating store, and I ordered a part number. Like I said, I have this part number, is this? And they said, well, no, but it's been replaced with this part number, blah, blah, blah. And it was the damper fan or blower injector, something, I don't remember. But I ordered it, replaced it, and I'll be darned if the furnace hasn't been working ever since really, really well. So yeah, the desire to not pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for somebody to come in and change a part is pretty strong. So the old sheriff lives by her. Okay. All right. Not even the current sheriff. That's interesting. Yeah, our road does not get plowed early, but the other roads around us do, like the roads going up and down the hill get plowed, which makes sense. Because they're kind of main throughways, and it's a hill, so they need to be plowed. But our road does not get plowed, but it makes a little bit of sense because our road isn't on the way to anything. Like, if you are not specifically going to somewhere on our road, there's almost never a reason to be on our road. So our road has a very low priority when it comes to plowing, but I like that our road isn't on the way to anywhere, because that means that we don't get a lot of traffic on our road. So I don't mind that. Yeah. Oh, he just retired. Okay, fair enough. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we are getting close to time. And I don't know if Neil is still watching, but Neil, I am so happy for you that you, like, what time are you supposed to be at work? 8:30? Is that correct? I don't remember exactly when you're supposed to be to work, but yeah, but like, you'd already be like, oh, gotta get out the door. But nope, you don't even have to be wearing pants yet. Oh, yeah. Of course, I don't know. Maybe Lydia had to work this morning. Neil, you are what? Wait, also, why didn't it show up in my chat thing? That's weird. Oh, there it is. 8 o'clock, but everybody shows up at 8:15. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Coffee time. Yes, I agree. Coffee time, coffee time, coffee time. Supposed to be there at 8. Okay. And I just cheated and I looked at the thing, and Lydia's home too, so she must not have opened today. That's going to be easier for her this winter too. I mean, regardless of how soon your subdivision gets plowed, it's definitely going to be better than the driveway out at the farm, because the plow never handles that. Trying to get out, especially a snowy morning where she opens. Ooh, that's tough at the farm, but it'll be a little bit better where you are now. And at the very least, even if the roads aren't plowed, at least going to town is downhill from your subdivision. So, it's not like you're going to have to try to get up a very snowy, unplowed hill to get to work at least. I guess I feel bad for third shift people in that regard, where they are just coming home first thing in the morning. That'd be rough. Like, oh, good, the plows haven't come yet. I have to park down in the road and walk a quarter mile up the subdivision. Oh, man. So you want to hear a sad story? I know we're running almost out of time, but I get a regular delivery of coffee. I have a subscription service to Higher Grounds in Traverse City, Michigan, and every 2 weeks I get fresh roasted coffee delivered to my house. And the post office lost it. I mean, it only ships from Traverse City to here, which is very close. I mean, it got lost. It was supposed to be here on Friday, and it shipped on Thursday, and then it said it arrived in Petoskey on Friday, and then Saturday it said it arrived at Traverse City again, and that is the last update. And so I had to contact the coffee company and say, what's going on? And they don't know. And I guess the post office was closed yesterday. Was it Columbus Day? Or Indigenous People Day, I think is probably what it's known as now. So I think they were closed yesterday, the post office, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, thankfully I still have some beans left, but I only have like a day or two of coffee left. So I hope it comes soon. That is interesting. And you know what? So it's only going to get worse in our area. I assume it'll affect you there too, Mary. So because of the Amazon warehouses going in Gaylord and then Traverse City, the post office is not going to be delivering Amazon packages like they have been. They're going to be using Amazon delivery. Like if you order stuff from Amazon, you probably, maybe, again, I don't know if it affects Sheboygan, but doing their own delivery stuff. So the post office has far fewer packages to deliver, which means that they are going to have to lay off delivery people, and then the remaining delivery folks are going to have to absorb parts of other routes. So it's going to be confusing, who takes what to where. So yeah, it's going to be frustrating, at least in my area. Again, I don't know how that affects things over there, but okay. Yep. And so, I know we're almost out of time here, but the story there is what they've been doing is just hiring any third-party company that has any sort of a truck. And they've been contracting those companies to do their delivery instead of using the post office or UPS and FedEx. And so, yeah, us too. It's not just white vans. It'll be some random named company van that are being subcontracted to deliver packages. And it'll be at all times of day. I mean, it's crazy. But Donna is, Donna has a working relationship with the delivery, the post office delivery person, the mailman in town, because she works at the bookstore and gets deliveries every day. And he said that
the mailmen in the area feel bad because they will send people like all the way up from like Houghton Lake in, unmarked trucks to deliver packages, and they'll be delivering them to downtown Petoskey. And if you've ever been to downtown Petoskey, the businesses are crammed together, and then there's like addresses that are upstairs or downstairs, or like doors that go up and over. Trying to find different addresses downtown is like nigh on impossible, and GPS is no help because it'll say, oh, you're there, and you look around and there's like 18 businesses, 27 doors, and none of them are marked. And so the mailman said he saw this poor young guy, early 20s, having a package, literally walking around door to door looking for any clue, and he felt bad for him. So eventually he's like, hey, this unmarked door, go upstairs. You're going to see doors on either side of the hallway, and they have numbers on them, and that's what you're looking for. But yeah, it's going to be messy, I think, for a while. Hopefully the mail delivery people get Sundays off. I know that was weird. Like the mail doesn't go on Sundays except for Amazon. So I don't know what's going to happen there. And if they can't find you in the middle, so here's the nice thing though, Mary. While a human meat sack might have a difficult time finding you, your address is going to be a glaring beaker of easiness to find for GPS, right? I mean, it's not like, you don't live in a duplex with 18 addresses and stuff. So I think that you won't have any, I don't think that you'll have any issues with them finding you. You might have issues with them not wanting to drive that far. They might lose your package. Actually, that's not true. I think if they lose packages, Amazon will get rid of them very quickly. And so I don't think that, I think that Amazon would be far less understanding of lost packages than like the post office or even FedEx or UPS, because those places are so big that, it's hard to say where things got lost. But anyway, I feel bad for them downtown too. I mean, I literally, I was helping the owner of the coffee company. Her father needed his Wi-Fi to work, and his office was a couple doors down and upstairs. I literally live here, and I couldn't figure out where I was going. She had to literally walk me there because it was like through this unmarked door or through this door marked for another company. And then you go up the stairs. And then once you get to the second floor above another store, then there's a bunch of different, there's like bunch of different businesses with their names on the door. But at the street level, there's any information about those other businesses, just one of them, probably the one that owns the lease that owns the property. They put their name on the door, but all the other offices that they lease out, they didn't allow them to put their name on the door. I don't know. It was weird. It was strange, but nonetheless, yeah. I don't know, but it's a little bit disheartening that, there's all these really well planned and well functioning, good functioning delivery services, UPS, FedEx, post office, and Amazon is now going to do their own delivery. I'm sure it's going to save them money, but it's just, I don't know. We'll see how that affects us. I'm also glad I don't live in a city. I mean, I see all the time where like porch pirates, is that the term? Where a package will get left on the door and then somebody follows along and steals packages off door stoops or off porches. That's, that just doesn't happen here. I mean, I have, cameras and stuff anyway, but still, just in general, that's just, I couldn't imagine that. And I've had a lot of stuff delivered, and sometimes they come in boxes like, oh look, it's a giant TV on the front porch. So anyway, I suppose it's about time that I should go start making breakfast for my wife and pack her lunch. I've already taken the dogs out, but Mary, you're right. And okay, so yeah, we'll finish with that too. Apparently, the post office is still getting some packages. Like normally they get like 7, like here in Petoskey, they normally get 7 pallets of packages every day from Amazon. And since they started contracting, with other drivers, the post office gets 1 or 2. But I bet that you nailed exactly why they're still getting some. I bet Amazon has a formula, an algorithm, if you will, to determine which packages are cheaper for Amazon to deliver versus having the post office deliver. And if somebody is far away, it's not worth the the effort to have their own driver do it. It's cheaper for them to pay for UPS or for like the post office to do it. So yeah, I bet that's exactly what it is. So you will probably still get a lot of packages from the post office, and probably it'll be on a day-to-day basis. If there are, over 3 packages within a 2-mile radius of where you live that have to be delivered, they'll probably route it to their own shipping. And then if there are fewer than 3 packages in a 3-mile radius, then they'll just give it to the post office. And I'm sure it's all algorithmically determined. So you're never going to know. You're going to get packages delivered by white vans or the post office or UPS, who even knows. But Neil, yes, have a great day. Bjorn, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Mary, have a great day. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me in the morning. I should be back tomorrow morning. And then of course Thursday I'll draw a comic. But have a great day. Stay warm wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Dang it, I don't have my mouse. I just said goodbye and I can't even